Hello, welcome back. We cast lots of site searching spells again, and found nothing again. Might have been a mistake to resume casting those, I think, maybe, I don't know. I'll keep doing it though. We also poached another Tangleheart egg. And we also cast Ritual of Rebirth, which is a spell that revives a dead hero from the Hall of Fame. I cast this because I've never cast it before and wanted to see how it worked. The hero that we had in the Hall of Fame was a Hungry Prince. He's now a mummy, but he still has all of his afflictions, which... yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure how useful this spell is, actually. It's kind of weird that it doesn't cure any of your afflictions. I guess it's more useful if you have a spellcaster that you want to bring back to life. So there we go. Lesson learned. And we also had Ecomorphosis dispelled this turn. This is kind of interesting because Ecomorphosis has been up now for like most of the game. It feels kind of late to be dispelling this. Although I suppose maybe someone who already has globals up, like Cassia or Selenia, maybe they want to put up another global of their own and were worried about knocking their own global out, so they dispelled one of mine. I suppose that's possible as well. We'll find out next turn if another global goes up. And then we had two battles. One was just AI DM Dracket taking back a province from us with a little stack of trash. That's outside of the square of my attention though, so I don't really care too much. And then we also attacked the fort in MA Cassia. There were some things patrolling, but it's still just a handful of nothing. Can't really stand up to a giant army of high quality troops, so that fortress is now under siege pretty easily. And it is also cracked open, as you can expect, given the sheer amount of siege strength that we had. None of the events are too interesting. We were then attacked in Summerlands by barbarians, but they were repelled by the entwining arm that was here. And then we did lots of pillaging as usual. Some of these provinces are completely empty now, so there's no one left to kill, but we do still make a little bit of gold from pillaging. This one got 92 gold, so that's pretty good. 75. Some of them are like 10 gold. They're a bit puny now, but we do have some provinces that just have like entwining arms in a province with no lab, so nothing really better for them to do other than pillage. And if they're leading worms, the worms have a pillaging bonus. So yeah, that's it for messages. And this turn is relatively simple still. Still just defending our thrones. Still just waiting for Cataclysm, because I thought it was quite near. It turns out it's not that near. It looks like Wrath of God did kill one of our eggs this turn, which is unfortunate, but another one hatched. So that's good. I've started giving the princesses Rings of Fire and Amulets of Giants, just to make sure that they survive during fights. Because they're naturally fire vulnerable. And that's pretty much the only... That's it for everything happening in my actual territory. Everything else is just over here now within my nice square. We're storming Cassia this turn. That should go fine. There's lots of stuff here that's pretty high quality, and I can't imagine that there's going to be much going on in Cassia. And it's an AI anyway, so it's probably not very well scripted. Taking back this Bile province with a bunch of worms that are nearby, and throwing some more stuff adjacent to this throne. Looks like it's still under siege. Didn't he just... He moved into it last turn, right? I guess he hasn't stormed it yet. But we'll be adjacent to this next turn, so we'll move on to it, and we'll also be able to teleport all of the spirits into shepherds as well. This got down to 1 dark candle, which is nice, but this province is still 6 dark candles, so we might get hit by a few water elementals, but it is pushing out a bit. And I'm also now building a lab in the throne province here, and putting up another temple in, I think, Jome? Yeah. So still trying to aggressively push out my dominion. And we're doing lots of research still as well. I do think it might be kind of cool to cast Enchanted Forests instead of putting up Ecomorphosis again. I think that would be probably more annoying for people than Ecomorphosis, and maybe more effective as well. We are up to... where's a temple? We are up to now Dominion Strength 13 with a Dominion Conflict bonus of 20. So our Dominion is pushing out a little bit at the edges now. That's nothing amazing, but You can imagine that if we had Enchanted Forest as well, our Dominion might become really, really oppressive, actually. So that'd be kind of cool. So I'll stick with that for now. We also still have tons of gems saved up, so we can alchemize them and do stuff with them if we need to. Or I'm also sending like scouts down towards other thrones. If we do find a throne that seems kind of puny, I think I will just teleport all the spirits onto it with a bunch of gate cleavers. I'll just turn all of my earth gems into gate cleavers and just see if we can pull it off. On that note, since this is like battle data, I should probably say I think it's probably a mistake that you get so many spirits points. Either that or they shouldn't be this good. Because in my head they were like a kind of like really rare kind of luxury commander that you'd get every now and again. Which is fine, and that is how they work, but it's just I kind of underestimated how many you'd end up with if you have lots of sites over a very long game. I was thinking maybe there should just be a limit on how many you can get, so like you can get 3 and then you never get any more or something. And then they'd still be like a cool luxury commander, but they wouldn't be quite so... It is kind of silly that we have so many of these, but since we do have them, I mean, we might as well leverage them, right? If what we take away from this game is that spirits of points are busted, that's fine. I'll change them, and hopefully no one's too unhappy with them. But we'll see how things go anyway over the next 2 turns. Maybe someone just completely counters them, and it turns out they're not that good after all anyway. But that's it for this turn. So that was turn 67. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Hello, welcome back. We got some research done first of all. Research is still ticking along quite nicely. We hit Conjuration 8. Honestly, this doesn't give us much. I'm going to assume that most of the elemental royalty have gone already. It does give us Earth Attack though. Our god can use this, and Earth Attack is a really annoying spell if it's getting thrown at you. So that is something. But I'll keep going for Enchanted Forest, which I think would be quite funny. First though, I'm going to detour into Thaumaturgy briefly to pick up Revelational Exogenesis. This is the version of Exogenesis that you can cast at enemy provinces. Other than that, it's the same. We already have Complex Exogenesis. I'm going to be using this turn. And that's the reason why I'm detouring. I'll come to that in a moment. Other than that, we did all of our site searching spells again. We did actually find some with Auspex and 2 sites in Queen Forest. Copper Idol is an Urgem, and Canyon of Wild Winds is 2 Urgems. That's not bad. We also got hit by Leprosy in M.A. Kazia. This is almost certainly Selenia. So they can actually see my region of the world. Battles then. There was a battle in Linshire. Wasn't too interesting, just me taking back a province from some barbarians. We got attacked in the Mighty Pillars, which is our fortress, by some DM Drakit trash. We'll have to push them off. And then there was the battle at the fortress in M.A. Kazia. Not the most well defended fort, so nothing too surprising here. Imps rain down. It looks like we triggered the ice drakes to breathe fire backwards into their own troops. Yes, that is happening. So pretty good. So far we are defeating the enemy army with their own troops. Not too bad. I think we probably also enslaved some of those drakes, didn't we? Looks like they're on our side. Oh wow, we enslaved 3 of them. And a brown drake. And a bunch of lightless lanterns as well. Yeah, that went fine. It was basically empty. There's 5 little mages here. So we now own M.A. Kazia and we burned down the temple. We're already up to 2 white candles. Lightning continues to strike. Actually killed one of the teeth in the hills, which sucks. And then we got attacked by Vengeful Water. Jesus, I underestimated how bad this would be. First up, kills our champion of the Untamed Maker with bodyguards. Next up, kills an acolyte. Kills a druid of the Untamed Maker with bodyguards. Doesn't kill the Spirit of Points. This is the one that has the contract. So the imps really help. But then, more embarrassingly, it goes up against a regular Spirits of Points, who's carrying all of my gems. This guy flew in from a fort to bring gems to this army so that it would have gems in the fort attacking fight. And apparently, a single water elemental easily defeats an unscripted Spirit of Points. So that's a shame. We found the counter to spirits. I guess they're not that bad after all. They just get crushed by water elementals. So that really sucks. We lost so many mages then doing this. Another acolyte as well. Yikes, yeah, we cannot walk through vengeful waters at all. That sucks. It probably doesn't help that we're adjacent to a lake, which, you know, I think that makes the water elementals bigger, but that was kind of unexpectedly bad. Like, I expected to get attacked, but I thought we'd fend them off with our mages, with bodyguards, like Jesus. Events then, lots of usual stuff, but we also, apparently this thing in Aganor, where the province is getting attacked by undead, I guess that's continuing to happen if there isn't a death mage here. So that's kind of weird. And we also got attacked by barbarians in Spring Spires, which is over here. So lots of misfortune events still continuing to plague us. And that's it for important messages. Alright, I'm getting out of here for a second, but we now have Emikazia, we now have a lab here, so I'm going to cast Complex Exogenesis this turn. This gives us an entwining arm in a friendly province at range. It also gives us Dominion. So I'm going to cast it on Shepherd's Haven to get rid of Grudo's Dominion here. So that'll be the really easy way of taking care of vengeful water attacks, just wipe out his Dominion. And then once I've researched Revelational Exogenesis, I can then also cast it onto this throne province to get rid of his Dominion there as well. Not sure how long it'll last, but we only need a couple of turns to take the throne. So that's why I switched research around, and that's what I'm doing right now. I'm moving out of this province because Exogenesis just triggers an event, and I assume it looks like water elemental attacks come before events, so I don't think the Dominion will change the turn this happens. I'm going to move out, take this back, and then move back again after I've changed the Dominion here. Because I don't want to lose any more mages to Vengeful Waters. That's what's going on over here. I'm doing a few more things in this lab now as well. I'm planting a Cosmic Garden over in Heaper. This will just give us
a temple.
The reason I'm choosing Heaper is because it has some entwining arms here defending it, so since we're getting a lot of misfortune events, we're going to get attacked by barbs and knights and things. So a province that has two powerful mages sitting in it, not doing anything, is probably better than not. PD here. Not very good PD, unfortunately. These guys are both Astral 3, which isn't hugely impressive, but hopefully they can fend off attacks from misfortune events. So that's what's happening here. Other than that, just going to wait a turn, and then we'll reassess. It looks like Selenia's moved off this throne, so I'm not sure what's happening exactly. But we'll see. Over here in Blue Waters, we've got a lab now. I'm just going to cast Voice of Tiamat quickly on this province to see if there's any elemental sites here. And I'm forging a bracelet so that we can get up to Water 3 in this province. And then we can start summoning, I don't know, trolls or turtles or something. We'll check out all of the underwater water summons, see what's good. Little stacks down here are going to take back these provinces. This one's just moving backwards and defend this region. These annoying AI attacks out of here. And I'm going to do some Akashic knowledge on my provinces to do big site searching for a few turns. And I'm also forging Rings of Fire and Amulets of Giants still. No more eggs have hatched yet. It's late autumn, so hopefully they hatch soon. And the other site searching spells are still going off in Piranha. Also forging a new Thistle Mace. I gave the Thistle Mace we have to Carvilius here. I realize that he's a Nature and Death Mage. So he can cast Lure Bashful Admirer, which gives you a Bashful Admirer. This goes with Death Magic, so it would be better on someone who has High Death and then a Point of Nature. We don't have that. available. There is one of those mages just over here. This would be a great guy to cast this spell. But I'm just looking for things to use my death gems on. I've got so many death gems. I've got a big death mage in my cap. He's D3. Plus a staff gives him D4. So I'm having him empower himself up to D5 this turn. And then he'll also be able to forge a skull face, get up to D6. This gives us a bunch of death access. Maybe we can drop our own leprosies and stuff on Selenia when the time comes. Other important development is we can now actually see 9 months to Cataclysm. So okay, now we're getting close. So this will be the last turn that I do site searching spells. And yeah, the domes that we have are still good. I made sure that there was more than 12 turns in them. So they should be fine for a while. I'm not predicting any big rituals dropped on me just yet though. And that's it for this turn. So this is a bit boring, but this surprised me. But we'll fix this. It'll be good to use Exogenesis to do something interesting over here. Also get to see if the Cosmic Garden spell actually works. Yep. That was 1068. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Hello, welcome back. Firstly, putting a penny in your pension successfully empowered himself in death. I'm having him forge a skull face this turn. Big death boy. We've searched for sites and actually found quite a few this turn. First of all, Akashic Knowledge. Cost us 25 pearls, found an enchanted pyre. That's 1 fire gem per turn. Pretty good value. Augury found a cypress forest. That is 1 nature gem and 1 earth gem. We got a report from Shepherd's Haven. You're hit by disease again. 235 units are now diseased. So that would be this army over here. It doesn't look like any of my commanders got hit though. I think one of them was, yeah, just one of the acolytes got diseased. Other than that, it's just units. If I hit D, you can see quite a lot of units are diseased now. Voice of Apsu, nothing. Dark Knowledge. Well, this was a good one. In Ionia, we found a Castle Arcanum, or Arcanum. This statue recruits wizards and warrior mages. Wizards have quite a lot of paths. They're also 21 research for 175 gold, which is pretty good. And warrior mages are mounted casters. They're also a pretty decent path. It's pretty cool. Also gives you an earth gem and a fire gem. And it also gave us a free citadel. So this is a 750 point fortress now in Ionia. So that's a pretty nice site to find. We lured a bashful admirer. These come as units. If you were to Gift of Reason them though, they are assassins. And they have 40 hit points, so they're pretty good assassins. But as units they're pretty cool as well, I think, because they're invisible, so their defense is actually pretty good. In combat, invisibility gives any melee attackers -10, unless they have Spirit Sight. So with 40 hit points and invisibility, I thought they'd be sometimes useful as line troops. That was the intent anyway. But you could just Gift of Reason them if you just wanted a big assassin. Voice of Tiamat found nothing. We planted a Cosmic Garden, which gave us a temple. A Cosmic Garden has been cultivated in Hibaboche temple. So I'm glad that works. We also cast Complex Exogenesis. So we now have an entwining arm. We got 3 candles here as well, which is nice. In Shepherd's Haven. That's good stuff as well. Battles. We took back Spring Spires, no problems. Agonor, obviously no problems. And Mighty Pillars had no commander. So they all went fine. Got back our fort, got back Spring Spires, and got back Agonor. There were so many undead units. Like, these ones were the ones I got from the last time we stopped the event, and then these ones are the ones we got this time. Pretty strange province. I'd rather not have to keep taking it back though, so I've put the province events up to 15, and I'm leaving behind some like trash worms in the garrison. Hopefully they'll be able to fend off Let's have a couple of like size 3 ones as well. Hopefully they'll be able to fend off any more attacks from random undead. Until we can get a death mage over here to sit here and prevent it from happening anymore. Lots of events as usual. In Ionia we got, this is an event tied to the Citadel. I think this is a JBBM thing. In JBBM there are lots of sites in the game that give you a free fort, but if you already have a fort, then they do nothing. So this event gets triggered so that if you want, you can tear down the fort that you have to get the free one. The reason you might do that is if the free one would be better than the one that you have, so... Norfackings, another one of our eggs hatched, which is good. In Mun, the temple burned when sloppy acolytes forgot to watch the holy candles after sundown. We actually lost the temple this turn, as well as gaining one from our spell. And in Rubberhome, Plague. That's it for messages. This turn, still doing what I said I would. There's lots of like little projects going on now though, so there's a few little things to talk about. First of all, this army is going to move on to Shepherd's Haven now. We'll go on to this fortress the turn after. I think that'll be okay. We might still get attacked by Vengeful Waters in this province for 1 turn. But I'll also cast Revelational Exogenesis as well, so it'll only happen for 1 turn, I think. And I'm hoping that because this province is landlocked, the water elementals will be smaller. I think that's how it works, I'm not sure, but hopefully it doesn't screw us too much. That's all going as usual. Going to attack the storms with a couple of units. My prophet got diseased, so he's carrying a Nectar Elixir to cure the disease. And none of the commanders or units here are diseased other than him, so should cure him. And we'll also take this lake. In Blue Waters, forging some more water bracelets. I'll start summoning some water creatures here. And I've been moving, any new splendor I get from these 2 provinces, I've been moving over towards the lake. So we've got one guy here on his way. There's another one we just gained on his way. So I'll sit a couple of splendor mages here, just constantly summoning units to keep the province as safe as we can. This guy will also be able to do Frostdame by himself without even needing any boosters, so that's quite good. Splendor don't have a body slot, so they can't wear Robes of the Sea, unfortunately. Also moving a few things up here. I'm going to attack into Cliff Coast with some random units and quite a lot of just commanders, just to kind of protect myself from ritual attacks. So we'll take that, we'll be here, we'll gradually just knock out all this territory, take it for ourselves. Also moving this big stack down and towards Dieemdraket, just to make sure that Dieemdraket isn't attacking into our territory, but is just taking back his own if he's doing anything. Still scouting out thrones. I've got a few thrones visible now. We can see this one and see the army on it. One seems a bit tough, probably don't want to land on that one. Just a couple of spirits of points. But I've almost got this one scouted as well. We'll look for whichever throne is like the least defended. And yeah, if there is one that just seems to have very few units on it, we'll definitely just teleport onto it and try and snag it. I think that would be pretty good. I think that's everything for like big movements. It just brings to like project stuff that I'm planning. So there's a few little things, right? First of all, I realized there's no point sneaking acolytes around. We have the spirits, they can teleport anywhere, and they are stealthy. So, first thing I'm doing is I'm forging every stealth boosting item in the game. And I'm gonna put all of the stealth boosting items on one of my spirits. And then I'm just gonna have him teleport directly onto thrones that are far away from me. So like this one. And then I'll be able to see what's guarding it. This one too. And this one. And if these thrones are like deep inside other people's territory, they might think that they're very safe, and they'll be like the least defended. So we'll teleport an extremely stealthy spirit onto one of these thrones next turn, and we'll see what we can see. So I'm forging like, let's see, there's a ranger's cloak, ranger's boots, there's an Eye of Innocence, there's a cat amulet thing. I'll show them all next turn, but yeah, there's lots of people in different provinces doing lots of forging. Big Death guy now is up to Death 5 with a booster. He's forging a Skull Face this turn. In all of my forts now, I'm only searching for nature sites, because I'd quite like more nature gems. So everyone else has kind of stopped doing remote site searching. We have one site searcher in each province now just doing Haruspecs. And I'm also still doing Amulets of Giants, Rings of Fire and Coral Blades as well each month to make my unit leaders a bit more kind of durable. I'm moving some stuff into Chibia. Another thing I'm doing is I'm forging every magic resistance item that I can give to this guy. I'm going to see how high I can make his magic resistance, see if he's worth doing something with. And if he is, I'm going to start agitating the mire every turn in this province and just feeding this hungry prince. I think this is a bit too broken, but I would like to try it out at least, because I think we can like infinitely boost their hit points. I want to see how ridiculous it gets. I'm going to stick all the MR items on him and a bless item, and see if I can get him up to like 1,000 hit points with regen. Because that'd be kind of funny at least. I am also summoning some eagles as well. This province is pretty good. It's got quite a few air mages here. We have a guy who's like naturally air 3, and we have a free air booster helmet that this guy can wear to get up to 3. And we still have the free elemental mastery staff from the very beginning of the game. Get this guy up to 3. So these guys are all summoning great eagles. I could give both of the air boosters to the air 3 guy and have him cast summon elemental Queen of Air. But I'm not sure if they've been taken or not. Like, I kind of feel like they must have been, right? I would have had to do quite a bit of alchemy to get it as well, because I didn't have enough air gems. For now, I'm just going to do some eagles. And if we want to try out Queen of Elemental Air in a couple of turns, we make 10 air gems a turn, so it'll take 5 turns to get enough air gems to try it, if we don't do any alchemy. But we'll see. But I'll have 15 eagles next turn, and that should give us a huge amount of siege strength as well. Which will have quite good strike range. Not quite as good as the spirits, but yeah, something. I think that's everything. So lots of stealth items, lots of magic resistance items, and we'll have lots of eagles next turn. Taking a like, moving back adjacent to this throne, and we'll attack the throne next turn. And scout one of the other thrones with an extremely stealthy spirit next turn as well. And I think that is everything for this turn. So, that was turn 69. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next turn.